hear me and see me, and I'm not spending 2 hours just talking in the hope and the vein that you can. Okay, so today's webinar is all about psychic development and past life regression. And yeah, sorry if you're hearing all these beeps. I'm going to have to leave the Facebook on, it seems. So what we've got is an interesting mix. And today, it's funny, I've been having time glitches the last two days actually, so much so that I put a message up on Facebook. I think some of you may have seen it and may have commented. Just technical glitches. My phone keeps telling me the wrong time. That happened all day yesterday. And then I was like, oh gosh, what about the webinar? I might even just not know what time is the time to log on, but thankfully that side has sorted itself out. The other thing that has been going on is on Friday night, we were driving down a Cornish country lane, my husband and I, and there was this tractor in front of us. And it was really in front of us, you know, for ages, and it's just like, oh. And then it turned off, and that was just before we went round a corner. And then we went round the corner, and there was the same tractor. Yes, I know it sounds absolutely nuts, but it was the same number plate and everything, because the number plate had the name of someone we were just going to meet. So we were very aware of the number plate, funnily enough. So I've had that, and I've had my phone doing all bizarre kind of things. So I put a message up on Facebook saying, has anyone else been having any strange things going on, like time glitches? And the amount of comments that came back were huge. There was stuff about the phone, stuff about presences, stuff about things changing that can possibly change, being in places that they weren't possibly being. So there seemed to be a lot going on that wasn't really making sense. And someone put a comment that made sense in a way, as much as you can make sense of these things. And the comment was that Friday was the Mayan day out of time. Now, the Mayan day out of time means that, yes, I've got some people messaging me. I'm not going to be answering on Facebook unless it's, I'll be answering through the webinar. So Vina, I can see that you are messaging. And hello, and thank you. So the questions that will come through later, I won't be typing any responses to anything. I'll just be talking about them through the webinar. So hopefully you can see me fine. Thank you very much. So what was I saying? The Mayan day out of time was on the 25th of July, and something to do with the 28 moons that equal 364 days, and the 25th of July being the extra day, apparently. So there does seem to be this glitchy time energy going on. And it's funny, isn't it? Because when we book things, we like look logically at our diary and we think, yeah, that's going to fit in there, that's going to fit in there. It's a bit like when I did my first past life course. I taught the past life regression therapy course for the first time. It happened to be on Easter Sunday, not that I realised that it was Easter Sunday until someone said to me, Tiffany, did you do this on purpose? I mean, what better day than to have the day when Christ rises again? But I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened that way. And that is also part of psychic development. You just do things. You're not even aware of the deeper things that are going on behind it. Even though psychic development is about becoming aware, it's about becoming aware of the pieces. We don't always see the whole picture of everything. So this is where I was thinking psychic development and past life regression are kind of one and the same thing, and I've been thinking about that for a few days now. What is it that makes it then the same thing? It's true that the more in touch with your psychic self you are, the more you're going to get out of past life regression. And in order to be in touch with your psychic self, there's a need to kind of understand what that is and how to work with it. So my thoughts have been going on that line very strongly. And basically, what happened with this day out of time was that it also gave me a little bit of a, yes, that's it. Psychic development and past life regression are all about being able to access different times of the past, times of the present, times of the future. Past life regression might sound like it's just about past lives, but really what will come up, generally speaking, this is what I've seen throughout my time that I've been practicing as a past life regressionist, is that what happens in your past life is something that, you know, whatever past life you access today, if you manage to access one, firstly take the pressure off of yourself for accessing one. It will be whatever it's meant to be. But the past life energy is not just about looking at the past. It's not about looking at that, just having a trip down memory lane. It's very much a case of, usually what happens is what comes up for you right now, today, from that past life is going to be relevant to your life today, and it will help you to see where you have been in the past, make sense of where you are in the present, and help you to see where to go in the future so that you're not repeating the past. And I think that past life regression is just amazing and incredible like that. It really is a very beneficial tool on our evolution, because it just saves a lot of time. If we can see where we've been in the past really clearly, then we know we need to go in another direction. So I'm passionate about that. I'm very passionate about that. And this webinar is going to be divided into a few sections. The first one is talking about the psychic development side of things, and the second one will be a meditation on opening up our psychic channels so that we are in that place where we can really access stuff for ourselves. And then we will do the past life regression session, and then we will have feedback and comments through Facebook, unfortunately, because webinar's playing up. Let me just check. I've got some message. Yeah, oh bless you, all saying all good, can see you and hear you. Yeah, brilliant, thank you very much. That's fabulous. Okay. All right, fabulous. So we'll carry on now. All right, so psychic development and past life regression. How does it work? Let's take it one by one, shall we? So for me, I didn't even realize I was psychic until I was 26. Well, that's not, it's not strictly true. I had very strange things happen to me from the age of 4, or probably since as young as I can remember, but some very big ones at the age of 4. And I just grew up thinking that I was weird and that weird things happened to me, and it wasn't something that I was in control of, and therefore I wasn't psychic. Because to be psychic, I had to be able to access those things whenever I wanted to, rather than, thank you, Rena, rather than them happening to me. So I thought, I'm not psychic, I'm just strange. And then when I was 26, a teacher walked into my life, and he taught me what it actually is, what being psychic is actually all about. And I was like, okay, I get it. I am psychic, and I can conjure it up whenever I want, but subjectively, which means internally, not necessarily objectively. So there I was thinking, well, because I'm not seeing spirits all the time, you know, I'm not clairvoyant. And I wasn't taking into consideration our internal stuff. And the same is the same for for past life regression. So basically, when I had my first past life regression, I didn't believe it because I expected to be out cold, and I expected to have a tape given back to me to play when later on to find out what I experienced. And because it wasn't anything like that was going on, I was really kind of like, well, you're asking me questions and I have to say something, so I'm making this up and I don't believe it. I believe that this is all my imagination. Because it does feel like that, and because imagination is the tool that we are employing here in both psychic development and past life regression. But imagination is not, it's not a weak thing by far. We're taught to devalue it. But if you look around you, nothing came into existence before it was imagined. And just if I say to you now, don't think of the colour pink, what happens? Yeah, the imagination wins. It wins down every time. It's far stronger than the will. And the dictionary definition of imagination is that it's the filter that brings the information of the subconscious through to the conscious. Okay, so the best thing you can do for yourself is value your imagination, because it is God's greatest gift, and we're taught to devalue it, because maybe if we valued it as much as we do, the things that we invent, the things that we create, the things that would come forth from that would be maybe uncontrollable in today's society. So there's something here about accessing our supernatural ability, you know, which is something that hasn't been taught to us. And that's where I come in. That's what I do. I am your Sunday psychic school teacher. Okay, and today I'm going to take you through some past life regression and psychic meditations. Going back to my past life regression though, and how I didn't believe it, something very strong happened to me a few years later, which fills in the gap from why somebody who wouldn't believe in past life regression would train as a past life regression therapist. And I just had an incredible spontaneous remembrance, actually, and it all got triggered by meeting somebody. And I met this person in a church called St. Peter's, and it was a movement meditation class for 2 hours, and it was done in silence, and they were the first person I met as soon as I walked in there, because they were taking the money for the class. So it was like an acknowledgement. We'd met, and I felt this boom inside of me, and I'm sure there's plenty out there of you out there that know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's not the only time it's happened to me. It's happened to me at least twice, maybe 3 times or more in my life, but this huge kind of boom inside of me. And because it was the very first time I was very completely aware of it, because I've been developing psychically properly then at that time, it's like, what is this? I still didn't understand it, and it just went on that we danced every week, but we didn't actually speak. And I was like, I know this person, yeah, I've never actually spoken to them. So anyway, what happened was I was reading a book about past lives, and I wasn't meant to be reading the book. I was in a shop. It was my shop at the time, and we had all these types of books, and we did these therapies, and we taught courses and everything, and I knew what book I was going to read, and I put my hand out to get it off the shelf, and I kid you not, it was like there was a plate of glass there, and my hand just stopped, and it was like, no. And I was like, okay, so what book do you want me to read? And my hand just shot across to this book called Past Lives, Present Dreams by Denise Linn. It's out of print now, but I expect you can still get it on Amazon. It's very good. And I was like, okay. this is weird, I'm not even dreaming. So I flicked through it, and there was an exercise to regress yourself. And I just flicked over it. You know, you were supposed to read it onto a tape player, I guess, in those days, and then record it back to regress yourself. It's kind of like what we'll be doing together in a few moments. And I just found myself in this stately home, in the garden of this stately home, and I was so shocked. It was so vivid that my first thought was, where am I? And the answer just came back crystal clear. It said, Lincoln. I was like, wow, okay. What year is it? 1610. And I'm telling you, it was like that. It was like having a direct line. It was so strong. And I was like, okay, then what's my name? And they said, Catherine Burr. And I was like, Catherine Burr what? I haven't heard it all. Burr's a stupid second name. Can't have just Burr. What is it? Burley? What is it? And I was getting no answer back. I was like, oh, okay. So I just went for a walk and I found this person. And yeah, basically I saw the whole story unfold of our karma and what he was doing in his life today. I knew everything, not everything, but pretty, you know, I knew his job, I knew where he's living, I knew about his family, where they came from, I knew what he was interested in. I've never had a conversation with this person, remember. And so I went on Google straight away and I looked up stately homes in Lincoln in 1610, and there were 4 at that time, and only one of them had a church in the perimeter, which is what I had seen when I went for a walk. And this church was called St. Peter's, yes, which was, if you remember, the name of the church where I've met this person in this lifetime. And not only that, but it was actually home to the Burr family. So, yeah, I kind of had to tell this person, and everything kind of got confirmed. Obviously, I've got to protect their privacy, but there's some really interesting links with stately homes and things, and his family were where I thought they were, and there was so much other stuff going on, but obviously we can't have time to go into it all really here. But it was astounding. It was absolutely incredible. And then I believed, and I went on to train as a past life regressionist. So that was back in 2007, and since then I've just found it absolutely phenomenally amazing. If you can let go of the need for it to be right or the need for it to be correct, the more you can employ your imagination, and the more you can just let stuff come up, the better. Some of it is going to be probably very truthful, and some of it is probably not. But the sorting out of the wheat from the chaff is better left afterwards. So, for instance, when you have a past life regression, it's like your consciousness is still running alongside your unconsciousness. So, for instance, when you dream, you have a dream, and then you wake up later, and then you think, God, that's odd, or that's strange. But you don't judge the dream whilst you're dreaming, because you're out, basically. But in past life regression, we're accessing the unconscious while you're conscious. So what happens is basically some stuff will come up, and then your conscious side will go, well, that can't be right, because that's because of the conversation I had last night, or the book that I'm reading, or the TV program I just watched, or well, no, that can't be that time, because in history that doesn't add up, blah blah blah. So you'll have that side going on as well, and that's completely normal and completely natural. And the best thing to do is to kind of say to yourself, or say to your conscious part, hello, conscious part, you love having stuff to analyze, don't you? And the conscious part will be like, yeah. And you're like, right, okay then, let the subconscious come up with everything it's got in there, because you're going to have even more to analyze afterwards. And it'll be like, oh, yeah, okay then, and it'll step back and it'll let stuff come up from the subconscious, but it has a short memory, so the next time something comes up, you probably have to do it again. You just have to keep reminding it to do it, and take the pressure off it being wrong or right. Use your imagination, employ your imagination, and don't worry about whether it's wrong or right. The more information you have later, the more you can get Google to verify. Honestly, it's an amazing tool for being able to sort the truth from not the truth in these situations. Okay, well, I think I've spoken enough. I did want to do a little bit of a chat though on psychic awareness, because I think it's probably important to clarify what I'm talking about. So the three main senses are clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. Clairvoyance means clear seeing, clairaudience means clear hearing, and clairsentience means clear feeling. Now, most of us are predominantly clairsentient, which means we get feelings about things. When we walk into a room, a place, we meet someone, you know, we feel things. If people have had an argument or things like that, we can tell something's not right in the air. You know, all of that is clairsentience. And clairvoyance is, well, clairvoyance, the way I used to think clairvoyance was about seeing spirit outside with my physical eyes, as I've done a few times. But I've learned a bit more about how these things work. So clairaudience, I used to think was about hearing things on the outside, like you're hearing my voice now. But I've learned a bit more about how these things work. So basically, you have objective clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, which means stuff that happens on the outside. Objective clairvoyance is seeing spirit, seeing orbs, seeing auras with your physical eyes. Objective clairaudience is hearing spirit with your physical ears, and objective clairsentience is feeling spirit with your skin. Like maybe you felt cobwebs going over your face at times, or the goosebumps, or your hair standing on end. All of those are objective clairsentience. Then you have subjective. Now, subjective means inner. So inner clairvoyance is things like dreams, daydreaming, seeing something going on in your head. And I'm sure you all dream, so that tells me that we're all clairvoyant, which I believe we're all have supernatural ability. You know, it's supernatural, and that's what I'm passionate about, is getting that supernatural ability running for you, because it's like we all have it, we're all taps, and we're just all turned on at different levels, and usually the more schooled we are, the least that tap is running. So it's where the schooling of the right brain, the imagination, the creative arts, the psychic arts, that's what my job is to kind of get that up with the amount we are left brain schooled in this world. Okay, so subjective clairaudience is hearing spirit inside your head. So you might be thinking one thing and all of a sudden a thought pops in your head, and you just have to, you're like, wow, where did that come from? It's like an interruption of your own train of thought. So look out for that. I'm sure you've had times where you've suddenly just been doing something and then just suddenly gone on to another thing because you've been rerouted through your thoughts suddenly. I had that the other day when I had to email someone, and it was quite a priority, but I was putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and getting on with others and getting on with others, and then I got no now, and I did it, and I pressed send just as I got an email through chasing me up about it. So things like that, for instance. But I heard it, you know, rather than felt it or saw it. Now, subjective clairsentience, feeling stuff on the inside, so your gut feeling is a big one, whereas objective clairsentience, we said, was feeling things on the outside. Okay, so there's a little sense of where we're at with things. Okay, and we're going to do a little meditation now, just to get us in the flow for using our imagination and our clairs, yeah, each one of them. We're going to tune in to our chakras. And chakras are basically energy points that we have in our energetic body. So you can see my body, which is my physical body, and then we have 7 layers around the outside of energy, and each one of those layers is connected to one of our major 7 chakras. We have 7 of them. The first one is red and points down to the earth. Most of you probably know this, so apologies, but I am going back to basics here. It's good to go back to basics, and we're building a foundation here going on, so it's very kind of cohesive for you all. If you can all message each other still, that's great to bring a sense of community, and really kind of be like, yes, I'm ready, I'm here, and I am going to go deep with my chakras. No matter how much I know about chakras, I am going to be fully present and alert and awake right now to take this in. Okay, fabulous. So we have the root chakra pointing down. It goes between our legs and it points down to the earth. It's red and it deals with our sense of self, our survival, our basic instinct, our ability to work, our ability to survive in the world, our history, our ancestors, our home, everything to do with our basic survival and instincts. The emotions associated with it, passion being red, anger being red, motivation, action, doing, fire, energy. Although that's earth, I'm just getting into the tarot here because red is wands, which is fire, which is all that get up and go and kind of energy. All right, and it goes up in the colors of the rainbow. So the next one is the sacral chakra, just here below your belly button, and that's to do with creativity. Now this is, when this is running well, we're very, very creative, and when we're not running well, it's quite blocked. So depression, the colour draining out of life, not being able to give yourself permission to have joy in life and to create in life, all of those things are to do with the sacral chakra. Whereas if the root chakra is out of balance, we can either be ruthless and too ambitious, or we can be meek and unable to stand on our own 2 feet, quite literally. Then we go into the solar plexus here, which is yellow, and this is about our sense of self and our ability to know who we are and our ability to keep that sense of self independent, really, and not get watered down or pulled this way or that way by other people. Okay, so then we move on to the heart. It's a very quick lesson on the chakras, which is green or pink, but for the sake of the rainbow, we'll say it's green. And this is all to do with love, yes, spiritual love, our ability to love ourselves, our ability to love other people. And here we have the throat chakra, which is all to do with, quite literally, communication. So if things are out of balance there, we might be getting too opinionated or not flexible enough. We can get stiff necks as well as sore throats. Now then we go to the third eye, which is what we'll be working with a lot today. And this here is our ability to see, pick up information in between worlds and read between the lines, basically, those subtle energies. And then we have the crown at the top of our head going upwards, and that is violet, or it can be white, and that is our connection to the divine. So when that is flowing well, we feel like we know our place in the universe, you know, and we feel like we've got a purpose and we have a faith. And when it's not, we feel like, what's the point in anything? You know, there's this depression and this kind of like, oh, I don't know my place, what am I doing here? So keeping these well and healthy is important to our overall health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know that. And we're just going to use a little exercise now to tune into our own chakras and where they are. And this is to get your clairs going, really, because we're going to be using all of those clairs. And then from there, it's like a continuation. We'll go into the past life stuff, and hopefully you will just be able to pick up things a lot easier because you'll have been warmed up through this exercise. Okay, so this exercise is to sense what's going on in your chakras, all right? And we will start by placing our hands together like so, and rubbing our hands together. All right, now you really want to be kind of making fire with your arms, with your hands, like, oh, you know, doing it so it hurts, kind of thing, as much as you possibly can. Oh, to feel like they're going on fire. Perfect. And then close your eyes and hold your hands just a few inches apart and feel that energy that you've built up between your hands. And then with a nice in-breath, breathe in. And as you breathe out, just send the energy from your heart down through your arms, out through your hands. And just feel if your hands want to move at all. And you just do that a few more times with the own rhythm of your breath. So breathing in down to your heart and breathing out through your arms and out through your hands. And just feel if your hands want to move out or want to move in. And maybe you feel like you can't move them together. Like my hands have shot right out, but it's not necessarily the case. They might want to move further in together as well. Okay. Just feel that energy. Just take a moment to feel that energy. And just say to yourself, you are present. You are releasing the day from this moment like an overcoat running down off your shoulders, melting into the floor below. Take some nice deep breaths again. And as you breathe out, just feel that overcoat kind of roll off your shoulders, leaving you in the present moment. And now bring your hands up to the top of your head. And basically just feel around using your imagination. Okay, just feel around here for energy. How does your crown feel? Like my crown feels very close to the top of my head at the moment, but yours might not be. It might be way further out. Where do your hands want to be? Just feel that. And then just say to yourself, if my crown was a colour, what colour would it be? Just see what colour comes to mind. It may well be that you might find it easier if you can visualise some roots going down into the ground and some branches coming up from your crown. So the roots are coming down from your root base chakra, and your branches are going up from your crown, up out into infinity and connecting you with the whole universe. Your roots must reflect the amount of branches. So in order to go really high and connect really spiritually, you need very, very deep roots and loads of them going right down to Mother Earth, millions and trillions of them, deep, strong roots, mirroring the millions and trillions of amazingly big branches you have going up to the universe. And if you have trouble then finding a colour, you can send that question up to the universe through your branches. You can just say, if my crown was a colour, what colour would it be? So the colour I'm getting is like a beigey lilac, for instance. And now you do the same with the sound. You say, if my crown had a sound, what sound would it be? Use your internal hearing. What is your imagination saying? Sounds are the hardest thing to get, so if you haven't got anything, don't worry. It's just all the process of asking the questions that will help to open up your clairaudience, so don't give up on that. We'll move down to the third eye. Okay. So your third eye, again, just feel where your hands want to be. Quite interesting for this webinar is how much energy is in the past, which is the back of the head. Because obviously we're doing past life regression in a moment. If there's more energy at the back of your head, or is there more energy at the front, which is your future? Have a little feel for that. And then just say, if my third eye was a colour, what colour would it be? Don't let the colours of the chakras just say that, oh, well, surely it must be this colour. You said it was indigo. Yes, it's known as indigo, but it doesn't stay like that. It can be any colour, any of them, at any time. It's just represented by that colour. Although mine at the moment is staying indigo, I have to say. And then do the same for the sound. What sound do you have? Remember, if you can't hear, using your internal hearing, then send the question up through your branches and allow it to come back down. Use your imagination. Don't worry about making it up or not making it up. Just see what's there. And then go around to your throat. Same energy. How does it feel? Have you got a lot of energy around your throat? Is it very active? Does it feel blocked? Does it feel open? Blocked can feel quite heavy or quite cold. Open can feel quite powerful and quite hot. And what colour is in your throat chakra? And of course, again, what sound? And if you're not getting those, don't worry, but keep asking the question. That's the most important. It's more important than getting the answer, believe it or not. And also be aware that sometimes they will show you the sound when your Claire audience is first starting up. So they might show you a picture where you know what the sound is rather than you hearing it. Let's move down to the heart. And if at any time you feel you need more energy in your hands, just rub your hands again. Place the energy over your heart. And just feel, how does your heart feel to you right now? And if there was a colour, what colour would it be? And if you don't know, ask the universe. Send the question up through your branches. Same with the sound. You might be quite surprised by some of them. My colours seem to be the same all the way down, but my sounds I'm getting very surprised with. Just had a dog barking in my heart, and I had a train going boop, boop in my throat. The train's more understandable, I guess, but I'm not sure about the dog. Okay, more analysation later. This is just about picking up information right now. So, onto the solar plexus. Maybe you want to rub your hands again. And just place your hands over your solar plexus. How does your solar plexus feel to you right now? Is it intact? Is it in balance? Could even say if it's a shape, what shape comes to mind to represent that? Or an object, you know, because the object may well give you the colour and the sound as well. If not, then do the usual thing of asking for the colour and the sound through your branches and seeing if any answer pops back down through them. And then we go on to the sacral. Again, feeling the energy, what is really there. How does your sacral feel to you right now? Is it quiet? Is it loud? And in terms of sound and colour, where are you at with that? And the last chakra, the root chakra, just feel around that area in your aura. Feel how that feels to you. Does it feel vast and strong and deep and grounded, or does it feel ethereal and kind of hard to grasp? Does it feel angry? Does it feel motivated? Does it feel passionate? Does it feel apathetic? And what colour do you have coming to mind for it? And what sound? Okay, so just blow through your hands. So that exercise is just to warm you up, warm your imagination up, which is going to help with the past life regression that we're going to do right now, okay? And if you've never done past life regression before, don't worry, don't panic. You will be in control. You can come out whenever you wish, and I'll build something into the past life regression so you'll know exactly how you come out. And it's very, very easy. It's important that you're not interrupted, that you're not doing anything else other than being really present right now. So if you can't do that, I would suggest that you don't continue with this webinar right now, but you do through the replay later when you know that you have that time, okay? So be warm, be comfortable, give yourself permission to be undisturbed and to be present. And we'll begin. And we begin by closing our eyes, because when we've closed our eyes, it changes our brain wave from beta to alpha, which already takes us more into a psychic realm just by closing our eyes. And the next thing we do after we've closed our eyes is to concentrate on our breath. So just allow these next few minutes to concentrate on your own rhythmic breathing. No need to change or force it. Just come into rest with your breath. Really give it that time. You know, it's always with you, never deserts you, yet we never really give it the time to say thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for never deserting me. We don't give it the credit it deserves, and this is all about giving your breath the credit it deserves, because when we do, it breathes us into a new life. It breathes us into the depths of who we are. So lovely, deep, relaxing breaths. lovely, deep, relaxing breath. And just see on the screen of your mind, or intend that it is there, the word relax. And any noises that you hear only serve to take you further and further into relaxation. See this word relax on the screen of your mind, and see the word relax dissolve into tiny droplets of relaxation and calmness, dissolving down, down, down through your temples, releasing and relaxing any tension from your temples. These beautiful droplets run down over your jaw, releasing and relaxing any tension from your jaw, feeling your jaw relax, your tongue come away from the roof of your mouth. Feel like you're melting, everything is releasing, falling away as you go deeper and deeper and deeper down, down through your neck, releasing and relaxing any tension from your neck. Running down your shoulders, releasing and relaxing all the tension from your shoulders, down through your arms. Release and relax any tension from your arms, running down, down, down through your wrists and out through your fingertips, leaving your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms and your hands, beautifully calm and relaxed. Just feel how heavy your head, your shoulders, your arms and your hands are feeling now. And just allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper, and see the word calm inside your forehead, and see the word calm dissolve into tiny droplets of calmness running down the front and the back of your head, running over your eyebrows, dripping down over your eyelids and over your nose and your lips. Beautiful droplets of calmness, releasing and washing all the tension away as they dissolve down over your jaw once more, and down through your neck, releasing and relaxing your neck, your head feeling heavy as these beautiful droplets run down through your chest. Release and relax your chest. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just expand and open your heart chakra and feel the rest of your body becoming softer, becoming heavier and heavier. And every time you hear the words calm and relaxed, or deeper and deeper, or more and more, you will feel more and more relaxed as these droplets go deeper and deeper down through your torso, allowing your torso to spread, relax, become heavy. As those droplets run down through your hips, unlocking your hips, releasing, relaxing your buttocks and your thighs, going deeper and deeper down, taking you more and more relaxed. These beautiful droplets of calmness and relaxation running down through your thighs, down through your knees, down through your ankles, and out through your feet, leaving the whole of you beautifully calm and relaxed. In your mind's eye, see yourself in a field, in a beautiful sunshiny day, and just feel the grass beneath your feet, crisp, maybe with morning dew. Just hear the bird song in the air, and smell the scent of flowers all around you. See the vivid colours of the trees and the birds and the flowers and the grass and the sky and the sun, which is beaming down to your soul. And breathe in and feel that warmth right the way through. You feel how good it feels to be here. As you walk through the grass, you become aware of some terrace steps leading downwards. And we're just going to walk down those steps together now, 10, 9, 8, going down the stairs, 7, 6, and with each step you take, you feel more and more relaxed. So stepping off onto the 5th step, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feeling beautifully calm and relaxed. See a sun lounger. You just lie back on the sun lounger and allow yourself to breathe in the sun and resonate at this deep, deep level of relaxation. Lovely, deep, relaxing breath. Now this sun lounger is your safety point. And we're here to charge up with the sun's energy. So breathe it in, as that energy of the sun will strengthen your solar plexus, so that anything that comes up in the past life that you might find distressing, you're aware who you are now and that that has gone before and you lived through it. So breathe in that golden sun and lift your hand up and visualize your mind's eye that golden energy in your aura, so you can see it around your hand, like a ready bright glow of a golden aura and a halo even all around you. Use the breath to build that energy now. Build that lovely golden energy all around you. And just know that if you want to leave the life at any time, all you have to do is think of this sun lounger chair and you will find yourself back at the sun lounger. Now become aware of a pathway opening up before you with infinite row of doors down both sides, and just feel the magnetic pull of this pathway and find yourself floating off of the sun lounger, going down the pathway with the infinite doors either side. And just find yourself going back through the years. The doors might even have numbers on them. Going back through the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. You're just going back until you find you've come to a stop, where a door might just appear in front of you and you feel you can't move on from this door. So just take in how the door appears to you, and you find that door, which if you haven't, after 3, you will have found the door. Just imagine one there in front of you. 1, 2, 3. And now step through that door and look at your feet. Do they seem smaller or larger? Younger or older? Are you wearing anything on your feet? How do they appear to you? And how does it feel to be in this body as you look up your legs and take into consideration what you might be wearing on your legs? Also take into consideration the feeling of being in this body. Your torso and your arms. What is it you feel like you are wearing? And if someone held a mirror up to you right now, what would you look like? Your hair, your face. Get a sense of whether you are male or female. That should be coming now. Just allow yourself to imagine, take any pressure off of it needing to be right. And just if you're not seeing, it may be that you're more visual, kinesthetic feeling. Just feel how you feel. Do you feel relaxed in this body or uptight, excited, happy, or at peace? And this mirror should give you a sense of how old you are, and you may jump ages too. All of a sudden, that is also possible. And now I'd like you to look back down at your feet and see what you are stood upon. Is it rocky or not? Are you inside or outside? Get a feel of your environment if you can't quite see it yet. How does it feel under your feet? Explore your environment around you. Are you indoors or outdoors? Is it daytime or nighttime? Is there other people around you? And if so, do you recognize any of them from your life today? And after 3, we're going to fast forward to your home. And maybe there's some of you already there, in which case it won't change. But if you're not, then it will change. So after 3, 1, 2, 3, find yourself in the place that is your home in that lifetime. And explore the room that you find yourself in. Maybe elaborate, maybe simple. And just see what family, whether you have any, is there with you by hearing them call your name now. Who is it that's calling your name? And what name do they call? And just allow yourself to go and meet that person and see if you recognize them from this lifetime and get a feel of your family dynamics in that lifetime. And get a feel for what country this is and what era this is. Remember, the more information you can have, the more you can Google afterwards. Don't be afraid to just allow whatever's there to come up. Country, year. Maybe you can even get an address for your home. You could go to the letterbox and pull out a letter. What is written on the address? And what do you do in your lifetime, in your day? You go to school or do you work after 3? Just find yourself there. 1, 2, 3, your daily routine. Just explore what is around you. What is it you do? What is your passion? What is your love? Are you doing that, or is it a duty? And final question for now is, why have you been shown this life today? And if you haven't got the answer, just send it up through your branches and know that it will be answered either now or in the next few days. And now just come back, rewind the scene, coming back out through the doorway, closing the door behind you, coming back down the pathway, back onto the sun lounger, and just breathing the sun in to release anything that feels like it needs changing from that life. Just take a few moments just to allow the sun to transform that energy and bring you back to the present, feeling rejuvenated and cleansed. And then come on back up the stairs. And with each step you take, you will feel more and more cleansed and refreshed and alive and present in the moment. So going on the first step now, climbing up to the second and the third. Deep breaths, feeling more and more alert, coming up to the fourth and the fifth and the sixth and the seventh, feeling more and more awake and renewed and refreshed. 8, 9 and 10. Awake, alert and refreshed. Okay, so now's your time, if you want to pop some comments into the Facebook place, because my webinar is got technical issues. Fabulous. And I will go on to Facebook. I think some of you have sent me some friend requests, so you can do that. So I'm just going to friend you now. Bear with me. Hello Sammy, hello Leah. Okay, so yes, please do, if you have any questions or you want to share anything. Sorry, you're wobbling. I will put you back up here. Hello. Oh, hello. So yeah, please put them into Facebook in a message, and I will just carry on talking for a little bit, and I will check Facebook as it comes up. I'll know, and we can have a look at some of your messages or questions. You know, when we shut the door on the past life stuff. It's really to leave it there, but I found that that doesn't actually, it doesn't work that way. Past life to me is like an intention, you know. It's like if you're here, it's because you wanted to access something, you know, and we have a very strong intention. Everything works with our intention. And I'm getting some messages coming through, and I'll come through to them soon. So thank you, keep them coming. So basically, also put a non if you don't want me to say who it's from. That's really important, otherwise I will. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, your intention. Everything about this work is intention. So when you do a past life regression, even if it's just 15 minutes like we did just now, then it's a very strong intention. So that intention stays. It's gone out there into the world. So even though you've closed the door on that life, the intentions of the information that you wanted from that life are out there. And what you will probably find happening over the next few days is that more information comes through, and it could be synchronistic, like things just happening in your day-to-day life which give you information, or it could be that you have the internal remembrances. So there is energy there of you kind of wanting to know more, and also you may need some more guidance than I can give you in this webinar. So, you know, please do, if you want to contact me through Facebook and if you need more guidance with it, or you need more understanding with it, because I'm aware that, you know, that's just a very short taster, and you know, sometimes you need a bit more support than I can possibly give on this subject through a webinar, because it's a very internal, very personal thing, and I can't really speak to you that personally at the moment, but we will look at the comments. So don't be afraid to message me if you need some help, or you're like, there's some really strange stuff going on, I don't really know what's happening. All right, so let's have a look and see what is coming through from you guys around what happened for you. Okay, so Rebecca Mary says you went back to the 18th century. The numbers 38 and 41 kept popping up. I was about to say, is that your age? But you've just said that you were 14 to 15 years old. Okay, all right. So, so the numbers 38 and 41 kept popping up. It feels like you've just got the beginning of things there, Rebecca, and to work with it more. Oh, there's some more messages coming in from Rebecca. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look at that now. Bear with me. You were female, very petite. Okay, it's just basically, yeah, you're getting things coming through, but there's more to work with on that. So some ways that you can work with that is through your dreams, is a way as well. So when you go to bed tonight, you can kind of say, I want to dream more. I want more information about this past life. And even if you don't remember your dream when you wake up in the morning, if you can set your alarm 10 minutes early and just write down how you feel and practice doing that kind of every day until you start getting the remembrances clearly, that's a very good way to do it. Okay, Rebecca, I hope that will help you with more. So let's have a look here. Oh, my Facebook page has gone down now. Typical, isn't it? Just typical. Here we go. Wow. Hello, Vina. You were a man that looked like the Hanoverians, if I don't know if I've said that right. You had black curly hair and black court shoes, and your name was George, and you actually got George the First. Okay, now that's an interesting thing, isn't it, Vina? Well done for kind of saying that, for kind of stepping up and saying, yeah, actually, I got George the First. That's fabulous, because, you know, everybody says things about past life regression, like why was everybody somebody famous, like Cleopatra or things like that. And the truth is that, you know, we sometimes are and we sometimes aren't, and there's also strains of collective consciousness as well, or souls being in more than one place at the same time. And I actually had this proof when my stepdaughter asked me once about, you know, how can we contact someone mediumistically if they've reincarnated, and I was like, well, because we're all everywhere at the same time. And actually I thought, do I really believe that? And that's what I love about this work. My next client came to me for a regression because she felt paralyzed at times, badly paralyzed. And my immediate logical thought was she's been in prison in a past life. But of course, it's better to keep that to ourselves because the client is supposed to tell us what's going on. And what happened was that it actually turned out that she had killed herself and was actually stuck in the house where she killed herself in a past life. So it was like, wow, okay, now I believe that we can be everywhere and everyone all at the same time. So that past life regression turned into an earthbound spirit removal at the same time. And past life regression is about expanding our consciousness, and it challenges us with that. It really, really does. It can feel like we've made things up, and sometimes things don't make sense. Like one past life regression I had, Spirit were telling me I was 13 when I'd had this remembrance before, and I was a girl who jumped in the Thames at 8 and drowned. And I was like, I'm not 13. I know this one. I died when I was 8, and I know what it's like to have a 13-year-old girl's body, and this isn't it. This is an 8-year-old girl's body. But it turned out that I was indeed 13, but I was 8 at the same time, because what happened was I'd waited behind for who was then my grandfather, and for him to die. And then when he died, which I saw in this past life, we basically both went over, and it was then that I realized that I'd been earthbound since I died at 8, because I didn't want my grandfather to be on his own. I'd stayed behind until he passed, and that was 5 years later, hence being 13. So they really do challenge our senses of perception, and it's a really great practice to being able to get out of our judgments of things. Another judgment that helped with was that my granddad in that life was my father figure in this life, and in this life I wasn't around for when he passed, and I felt so guilty for about 7 years. I was racked with guilt about that. And actually it was this life that made me see that I couldn't be around because I made myself earthbound last time. So our understanding, once we get it, it kind of takes out any judgment, any guilt, any blame. It really is a very powerful, powerful way of healing and forgiving, because we realize that there really is nothing to forgive in the grand scheme of things, for ourselves or for another. Okay, so let's go back to your comments. Let's have a look here. Okay, this one I think says Anon, and it says mine was weird. So another George in St. James Palace. How interesting. Or did you say you were Charles? You said you were Charles, didn't you? Vina, okay. So it says apparently was on a fry grate with them. The message was letting go of sense of duty. And you lived in St. James Palace for real, not far from St. James Palace. Didn't feel like you though. It was to do with your boyfriend. Date was 18th of 56. Wow, I was George the King. Was I picking up ladies ones, although it's George the Fifth? Wow, gosh, it's quite interesting that we're having quite a royal kind of connection today. It doesn't surprise me really, because we had the new moon in Leo yesterday, and Leo is all about royalty. So if you have a Leo moon, for instance, in your chart, it tells you that you were royalty in a past life. So those of you that have picked up royalty in this life from the past life we've just done, may be good just to find out where your moon is, because if you've got a Leo moon, that's also a very strong sign of you being royal in a past life. Thank you for sharing your feedback. I nearly said your name, but I remembered not to. So it's very, you've done well. You've done well. It looks like you've got a lot of information there, and so just there'll be more to work with easily for you. Okay, it should come through easily. Let's have a look here. Oh, Kerry says, thanks so much, Tiffany. I'm in Australia and it's quite late, so I need to go to bed. Appreciate your time. But just briefly, I was in Peru wearing sandals and walking on a rocky limestone road. I was male and 18, went back to live in a stone room and was hunting small animals prior to that road. And you're typing now, Kerry, so there's going to be a bit more that's coming through in a moment, but it sounds like you've got stuff there to work with too. All right, I'll go back to another one here. This is Helen. Hi, Helen. It says, wow, that was wonderful. I feel it was a reminder to me keep gaining knowledge. Child being tortured in ancient Egypt. Thank you. And my name was Ashanti. Okay, Helen. It sounds like you're dealing with that fine. I don't get a sense of you being traumatized by that at all. But just in case you are, and just in case some emotions come up from that, just keep telling yourself that you are able to distinguish that that is a time gone by, and it's something that's passing through you. It's not something to grab on. It's allowing it to come up and to come out, to cleanse, to release that karma. Okay, and contact me if you need any help with that. Thank you. Okay, where are we at now? Back to Kerry, who was in Peru in a road. It says, I also heard the word Katum, so maybe it wasn't Peru. I don't know what Katum is, but it'd be good for you to Google. The thing is, sounds like you've gone far, far, far back, and when you go that far back, if it's like you didn't have calendars or diaries or addresses or things like that, then you won't know it because you can't get that information and you won't be able to put it into Google. But put that word in and see what comes up. I'd be interested to know if you want to share it with me at some point. Thank you, Kerry, and thank you for staying up and going through that with us all the way in Australia. Much appreciated. Okay, and this one says, hi Tiffany, any guidance for my psychic development, please? Many, many thanks. Well, if you can give me a question, then I can have a particular question, then I can have a look. But the general teaching about psychic development that part has closed for today. Okay, thank you. So let me just check you haven't put an on before I start talking. Hello, Susan. I'm on to you now. And it said, I was taken back to a time when I lived in the Middle Ages and married a crusader who died abroad. It was to remind me that I was loved and cherished. Even though I don't feel like this in this life, where I seem to care for others a lot. I have seen this man before. He's called Stephen and I'm Blanche, and I feel that his essence is still with me. On the way back, though, he gave me a picture of a black Georgian door with a triangle shape above and a picture of an Egyptian temple surrounded by sun. That's interesting, Susan. Did you know that the triangle is also the sign of the sun, and it's all about psychically seeing? It sounds like you've got a powerful message there about there being more stuff coming through from this one, and it feels very, very, very healing for you. So I would work with that in your dreams, like I said before. And you know, if this person is around, if you know them, or if you want to meet them in this life, and it's just like, if it's for the highest good, you could say, you know, you're ready for the information, or you're ready for that meeting. I hope that is helpful for you. Helen's just messaged me to say she feels fine. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have just got lots of messages here, and I'm just trying to get through them all, so bear with me a second. Okay, this is from Kim. Hello, Kim. Profound insight from the very beginning of the session. You're an amazing psychic Sunday school teacher, thank you. Chakra meditation was kick-ass. I know it will all surface eventually, just can't recall much now. But I did get a clear name, Martha Silks. Fabulous, Kim. That's great if you've got a name, because you can Google that and see what comes up. But I would try and get some more before you Google that name. Just see if you can get a date and see if you can get a location. I do have an MP3 for past life as well, which you can download off my site. You might have it actually, Kim, but if not, if you just go on to tiffanycrosara.com and look at MP3s and CDs, it's the past life journey. And that will be even more profound. You'll be able to listen through earphones, and there's some music that kind of helps you get into trance. I'd work with that again and see if you can get a year and a location, and then put it into Google. Otherwise, you might think that the rest of the information you've got is because of stuff you found on Google. Does that make sense? I hope so. Thank you. Okay, let's have a look, and just bear with me, because this is a very funny crisis management system going on here. So okay, Rebecca, you say you met somebody you know in this life. Fabulous. I hope that gives you more understanding of why your relationship is the way it is in this life, and what direction you might need to take with it. Fabulous stuff. Thank you. Okay. Venus saying she wasn't Charles I. She was a man who was around at the time of Charles I, and her name was George. And wasn't that the same name as the other ladies as well? How interesting. Was a gentleman, and my wife called me. I had a big house with period furniture. Ah, no need to mention. Well, I just have. Anyway, thank you. Is that common? Rebecca's asked about meeting someone in past lives. Yes, absolutely, because the whole, you know, our karma isn't, we're not independent. It's all knitted through our actions with everybody else. So that's what it's about, really. It's about finding out what our dynamics are within those relationships, what our karma is within those relationships, being able to identify it, and then being able to work with it and clear it. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's see, have I missed anybody's messages? Bear with me a second. I'm just going to go through them. There's one here from, let me see if you put a non. No, you haven't. So this is from Hina. Hello, Hina. You got nothing, you fell asleep, just relaxing meditation. Yep, I find it hard to access past life. You're asking me if I can pick anything up for you. The answer is no. Our subconscious, Tina, knows when we're ready to get things. So sometimes people do just trance out and not get anything at all, and that is basically a case of saying that not quite ready to kind of access it yet. If you do find it hard to access past life, then the best thing for you to do is actually book a one-to-one, because you probably need that individual hand holding to get you somewhere. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could book a past life regression with me on my site, tiffanycrosara.com. It's under sessions, and I'd be happy to work it through with you and see if we can get anything. And if you don't get anything, I'll just give you your money back. Okay, so no loss to you. Thank you. Let's have a look here. Any more messages? I think so. Just looking here. The other person said I wasn't George either. He served at the same time as I did on a ship. Okay, that's quite interesting. You two have got something going on there. That's quite fascinating. Okay, this is, let me just check you haven't put a non in so I can say your name. Okay, this is from Addie. Hello, Addie. And it says, wow, I was a child called Renee. I lived near the Chateau d'Alors. First, I was in a carriage pulled by horses. Then I was in a room painting on the floor. Did not recognize my mother nor the reason. Just have distinct feeling that I forgot to be a child. I do not understand. Yeah, it was a very, very quick glimpse, and you are going to need to work with things more in order to get understanding. Like I said, you can use the past life regression MP3 on my site, Addie. It's at tiffanycrosara.com under MP3s and CDs, and contact me if you need any more help. But I would run that through a couple of times in the next month or so, and you know, record everything that is happening. You may get more synchronistic messages through the day as well. Thank you. Okay, so we've only got about 5 minutes left, guys, so I'm going to try and get through all of your messages by then, but please maybe stop messaging me now if you haven't messaged. Get it in now or not at all, basically. Tiffany, I picked up on 2 lives. Both of them I remembered being murdered and how I was murdered. I really felt like I needed to know the truth. I cried through it, and by the last step up I was free. Wow, I needed this deeply. Thank you. I'm leaving these traumas in the past now. Wow, Stasha, that's incredible work for 15 minutes. Geez, you were right. You were ready to clear that, to just be able to go that deep into it and clear it out like that. That's incredible. It feels like it must have been really at the surface for you just to kind of rip out. It's interesting how these sessions come at the right time, isn't it? How we're drawn to these things. So, you know, it feels like you're all right, you're clear, and everything, but you know, that is a lot of trauma to be releasing. It sounds like you've released it. I do agree with you. It feels very clear, but you know where I am if you need it. Okay. Thank you, Stasta, and thank you everyone who has messaged in. Let me just check I'm not missing anybody out. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Now, I just want to say that I have also, apart from the sessions, because I do psychic coaching on one-to-one as well as past life development, and it's all on my site, and I had some offers for you that I was going to put up now, but I can't because Webinar Jam's crashed, and it was basically, the offer is I've got a psychic development course, 1-day course in London on the 7th, and a past life course in London on the 21st of September, 7th and 21st of September. And if you book those dates on my site together, you'll save £50. There's a special offer link that will be coming out in the email, the replay email that will be sent to you soon. So you can book those and get £50 off, or you can just book one of them and have a £20 discount, but it's by a certain date. I think it's by August the 7th that you need to book, but the information will be in the email that you get for the replay, because I can't pop it up here now. But in the psychic development we will be concentrating a lot more on your clairs and working out whether you are predominantly clairvoyant, clairaudient, or clairsentient, and how to work with that, because it's very important to work with your own strength rather than what you haven't developed yet. Otherwise it just feels pressured and you end up blocking yourself. So it's very much about finding out where you are at and how to go forward with it. We will do readings in that day. It's an incredibly fun day, and it's a lot of practice and not a lot of theory, because, well, that's what group days are about, really. And as they say, an ounce of practice is worth a ton of theory. So it's hard to practice with people sometimes because we know them. And it's a really great day to be able to just practice on people you don't know, and it's amazing what you can find out. You'll have so much confidence by the end of the day, I promise you. And the past life one is more about understanding how past life works. You will access a couple of little bits of past lives like we've done here today, but it's more about learning how it works and learning how to put somebody else through past life regression as well. It's very important to understand how past life works, because if you don't, then you're not going to validate what comes through. So from that day, you'll learn how to regress yourself, you'll learn how to regress someone else, but you'll also understand it at such a deep, profound level that you will no longer kind of worry or doubt or feel confused. You'll have the tools all at your disposal. All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in to this webinar, and I hope you find the replay really good as well, in terms of, like, you can just play it again, Sam, and see what happens. But also the MP3 on my site, tiffanycrosara.com. It's called The Past Life Journey. If you listen to that with earphones, it's got special music in it as well to take you deeper still. Thank you so much for joining me, and just allow yourself to, you know, have a little stretch, get off the computer, have a little stretch, have a little drink, have something to eat, go out for a walk, and just allow yourself to kind of come into your body in the present moment. Keep that journal going, ask for things to happen through your dreams or your waking day. And I hope I get to speak to you soon about some more lovely insights. Okay. Oh, and I have another webinar on Friday at 8 p.m. and I think the link will also go out in the replay, and that is a monthly reading for August, where you get to send a question in for free. And thank you for your lovely thanks. I'm not getting back to you because I'm overwhelmed with them, but it doesn't mean I don't appreciate them. Thank you very much. Take care and have a lovely rest of the day. Bye bye for now.